Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Exoria. So, since last episode, one thing I want to show you guys, I know I actually had a couple comments on the crystal, saying that the top needed to be open. Well, I'd actually opened the top, I'd actually cut some footage, I'd actually opened the top, because I was like, oh yeah, the top isn't open, and I think I'd cut that footage, but I actually had the top open there for like that 30-ish minute period that I had the crystal running, and it never did change anything. And I only had it bound to one lead block at the time. Okay, so what I ended up doing, and it actually worked, was I had to clear all, I think because I had linked it and then opened up the top, maybe that's why, but I broke all the links to the star metal, or like all the links to these blocks, and then I relinked it, and then it changed like quick. It didn't take very long at all. And I went ahead and linked it up to all of these different points, and it worked. I mean, it took a little bit longer when I had it linked to a bunch of different points, but it was still, I mean, it was still reasonably, reasonably fast about it. So we do have some star metal, and, oh, whoops, wrong pick. Let me go ahead and use this one, actually. There we go. There's some star metal ore, and I'm going to go ahead and place this and link that so I can do like all 7 of those, or all 9 of those at the same time. Just to make life a little bit easier. So let me pop over. Actually, I put my quest book away. I forgot. And I just realized I don't have a quest book in this pack. Oh my gosh. So anyways, we completed the quest here for star metal. And the next quest is infusing and resonating. We need to make a resonating gem. And then it looks like extracting liquids and shining, maybe for nether stars. Might be the last thing in there. But we're not going to be doing Astral Sorcery today. We're going to switch over. We're going to do FuturePack. And I had some really good comments on that as well. Basically, JEI doesn't display a lot of this of FuturePack. Like, it's kind of bugged with JEI. So what we need to make... And I actually got to looking in the e-scanner, and it was like, oh yeah, because right here's the part press. Now, I know some of the FuturePack stuff that you normally do isn't... it's not really a thing in here. Like, for example, if you take a look here at, like, FuturePack, it talks about scanning your 12 aspects before you get started, and it's under Story. These 12 aspects, you're supposed to scan these, but they're already scanned when you get the scanner. Actually, a lot of research is done for you. But what we need to do is we need to make the part press. And let's go ahead and pull this up. And I do appreciate the comments on that because there was some really great comments on it. Okay, I'm going to have to make a few things because I've got to make up some pistons. Which basically just means I need to make some levers and some tin gears real quick. And then I also have to make some slabs as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just get like a stack of slabs. That'll be fine. And then I need 10 gears. Go ahead and get our gear working die. And before I forget, I also need iron rods. I'm actually starting to get a little bit low on iron. Which we do have all that iron coming in from the void miner. So I might actually start cooking some of that up. Like set up a little ore processing system. We may actually do that here soon. Because we're actually reaching a point within the pack where we're not really using like a ton of materials, but we are using a bit more materials. Oh, I've got iron rods right here. And I've actually probably got iron bars, I think. Probably upstairs, I imagine. No, I actually do not have any iron bars. I don't know what I did with all of them. I know I had some left over, but it's not really a big deal. We can craft those. No problem. And then our... part press, we're going to need to get ourselves, let's go ahead and just get a stack of levers, that's fine. There is, oh, whoops, toss that in there. There's 2 pistons, and there's our part press. Which is not craftable, and I think that's because we have to make it in the tech table. Okay, so we'll just put our tech table down right here, and we'll do pistons, iron, like that, and iron bars, and there's our part press. And we'll just go ahead and set this down. I guess I can just pull these up since none of them really work. And we'll just drop them back in here. So now that we got that, let's go ahead and open up our scanner. And if we take a look at the part press, you can see we can make iron parts with iron. It's as simple as that. Okay, so let's get ourselves, let's go get some iron. And we'll just pop back over here and we'll toss this into the part press with a bit of coal. And you can see that it's going to start running, and we can do 2 at a time. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead. This is probably a little bit overkill, but we'll see. I mean, this might be a reasonable amount. So, and really 1 piece of coal should be able to make all of that. It's super efficient on power and everything, and decently fast. So, all right. So there's 32 iron parts. We should be good on that for now. And then let's pop over. We need to get some stuff together and make our researcher. And it shouldn't be too difficult at this point. The researcher, we're going to need light gray colored metal. And then we're going to have to get all this stuff together. Let's see. Can I use, I think I can use the yellow crystals out here. I'd rather use them because, I mean, they're basically free. Alright, so there's a bit of those. And then, what are we missing for this? A piston, of course. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab that, a couple pieces of zinc. And then we're going to need glass panes. Let's go ahead and get those. And then we're going to need the piston. There's that. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop on over. Let's go ahead and make our... I don't think that we can make it in... I think we have to use the tech table. Let's see, I think we have to use... No, we don't have to use the tech table. Awesome. So there's the researcher. And we'll just set that down right there. And then let's see, the scanner is the other thing that we need to make. So this is going to take our E-scanner and light gray colored metal, copper coils, which we can make with iron parts easily enough. Let's see. I need iron sheet metal, aluminum sheet metal. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit more iron sheet metal, and then I've got to make some more lead plates real quick. No, I've got lead sheet metal. Or, I mean, aluminum. Aluminum's what we need, not lead. Okay, so the light gray colored metal... Whoops. Can I not craft it in there? Maybe we got to use the tech table. Or no, actually, I don't think we have to use the tech table. I think it just won't craft in... Maybe in the AE system. Yeah, there we go. That might be the case for the part press as well. Let's see, and then we're going to need copper coils. See, it's not... it just doesn't work with the AE system. So there's copper coils. And then I think we've got all this stuff. I just need 2 pieces of iron. And then we should be able to get our scanner now. So we'll go ahead and pow, there's that. And research laboratory quest completed. And we get 8 ears. And then cheaper metal blocks. My first success is not big, but I found a cheaper way to make the metal blocks. The industrial furnace. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the industrial furnace. And then we'll actually get into a little bit of scanning and researching, I think. You've not researched. Yeah, we're going to have to do that before we can actually get that. Tanks are crafted like so. Oh, we can craft them actually in this. That's great. Let's go ahead and get this stuff together. 1, 2, 3 of those. There we go. We've got all the stuff that we need. But we actually have to do a little bit of research before we can actually make the industrial furnace. We have to research it first. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's go ahead and pull up the scanner here. And if you click this button right here, it's going to open up, you know, basically what the e-scanner had before. And I believe that the first thing we're going to need to do, actually I think that's going to be about the only, that needs research laboratory. Yeah, see, I think that's going to be like the where we start at. We're going to have to do that, yeah. Right here, this right here. This little like 596 AC9B06524. You can see that it's connected to a tech table right there, so we are going to need a tech table to actually use this, which I believe I picked up some at that dungeon. Okay, I was thinking that I picked some up at that dungeon. But maybe I didn't. They're fairly easy to craft, so I'm just going to craft one. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a crafting table. And then let's get ourselves a tech table. There we go. And what we're going to do with this is, let's warp back over to the turret workshop. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over to the scanner here. We're going to put our tech table in this top left slot. And what we're going to do is we're going to select parts from this side. And we're going to say Thermodynamics. Because I know that this is what goes with the tech table. But normally you just play around with this. We're going to hit, like for example, if I did logistics and we did a scan, it's wrong. That's not what we need. So let's try Thermodynamics and let's see what happens. You can see we got a research blueprint, we got a star, that means yay, that's right. I was thinking it actually used that up. Oh no, it's the next step that uses up stuff. See, it's been a little while. You can see a research blueprint, production 1. And the needed resources, we need a furnace. And it says time is 150. So let's go ahead and grab that. And we'll take our tech table out as well. I was thinking that it consumed that, but no, it's the next step that it consumes stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our research blueprint, we're going to put it right there, and we're going to put a furnace. It needs 3 furnaces. See, that's why it's not running. So we'll put 3 furnaces in there, and it's going to take a second, and it's going to research that for us. Now, sometimes it's going to take multiple items, but in this case, we just need 3 furnaces. And it says your research production 1 finished, your research laboratory finished, and your research industrial furnace finished down there. Okay, so we can't access that through there. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull this up, and you can see that we have unlocked production 1. And it says, by analyzing and evolving my tech table, I discovered in combination with some simple furnaces a very useful production device. The main advantage of this new machine generation is their solid metal casing, which should improve the stability against high temperatures. And it says new researchables available in production, research item industrial furnace. Okay, so right here, let's see. If we go down to production, you can see that we can make an industrial furnace. It says this advanced furnace is powered by lava, which can be inserted by buckets or pipes. It uses this energy to smelt items that cool down the lava slowly until they solidify to obsidian. This power allows to smelt up to 3 items at the same time. So you can see lava usage 10 millibuckets per molten item, and it produces obsidian. Blah blah blah. Maybe I can combine the materials of 3 slots to create alloys or refine my resources. Okay, so now we can make the industrial furnace. If you take a look at the industrial, you can see that it's no longer X'd out. We have researched that, so we're able to craft it. Now I'm going to need to make 3 more furnaces because we used up the 3 that we had researching the furnace. But that's fine. Let's go ahead and grab that. And then I'm assuming that we actually don't have to make these in the tech table. No, we don't. There we go. I need more buckets and quest updated cheaper metal blocks. So now we need to make a metal block. And this is where we were having to use the plates and all that. You can see industrial furnace recipes. We can make this composite metal. Takes zinc, copper, and iron to make it. I'm assuming that's the case with... Is it all of these? Copper and iron? Now I can use copper and tin. Yeah, it looks like zinc or tin. You could interchange them together. So iron, copper, and tin/zinc. Okay, so let's pop over though really, really quick before we... well, actually, I think we actually have some composite metal. In fact, yeah, we have 62 of it from the dungeons. But I will grab... Let's see. Let's grab a little bit of this just so we can actually make one on camera, or make a batch of this composite metal on camera. Doing those little dungeons is like a really good way to kind of jumpstart stuff, in truth. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our industrial furnace, we're going to drop it into here. There we go. We just got a blueprint for doing metallurgy. We got a blueprint here for composite metal. So let's go ahead and grab that. I'm going to leave that in there because if you take a look in the... I got another research for composite metal? Why did I get 2? have no clue. But if you click here, you can see that from the industrial furnace, we're going to find out about composite metal, this stuff, and that. Okay, so let's go ahead, drop this into here. Let's hit this button here. We need 2 copper ingots, in fact. Okay, so let me pop over. I'm going to actually pop up here. I'm going to drop that on the ground. I don't need 2 of those. No reason to. I might have accidentally clicked it again, like really quick, or something. I don't know. Alright, let's go ahead. There's 2 copper. And we'll pop back over. Anyways, let's go ahead and put our 2 copper in there, and it's going to start scanning. And, pow, there we go. Your research composite metal has finished. So if we take a look inside of here, we now know about composite metal. It says, I discovered a very resistant and light alloy with the metals located in this world. I named my creation Composite Metal. But then we have 2 other things, well, 3 other things here that we need to research. This comes from Composite Metal. So let's take a look at, in this little yellow bar here is the research that we've discovered from the industrial furnace. So like right now we just have 3 bars because we still have other things that we need to discover from this. So let's try geology. That doesn't do anything. Let's try morphology. I don't think it's going to be that either. Let's try thermodynamics. Aluminum. There we go. So let's go ahead and grab that. And let's drop it into here. Scan. We need 2 bauxite ore. Ooh. Okay. That's a good question as to where I'm going to get this. Bauxite from FuturePack. Okay, we can make it in the Induction Smelter. A block of aluminum and stone will give us bauxite. Okay. So let's pop over. And we need 2 of these things. And let's drop that into there. Give me 2 blocks of aluminum. And then the Induction Smelter. Grab this stuff out. Drop that into there, and it's going to start making our bauxite for us. See, FuturePack is kind of fun in the way that research is done and progress is made. It is a little bit of work. And I mean, there's a ton of nodes. Like, if you look through... if you look through here, I mean, there is just an absolute ton of stuff. Like, look at all of that. Now, some of this stuff is actually, not all of it you have to research in the way that we're doing it. But, I mean, the majority of stuff, you will be doing a lot. And I mean a lot of research. So, if you take a look here, you can see this one actually has like a white outline. That's because we're working on it. We're working on being able to make aluminum. So we'll go ahead and scan that. There we go. Your research on aluminum has finished. And we've unlocked that little tab. It says this material is extremely light in relation to other metals, but the production is much more expensive to make aluminum. It takes 2 bauxite to make aluminum. Let's try power connection. You can see we got a little bit more of these yellow bars here. That means, you know, we've got another... okay, we found something. Item logistics. There we go. Let's grab that. Try this out. We need 2 hoppers. Okay. So we'll go ahead and drop that into there and start researching that. And then we still have another item that we need to find. Let's try engineering. There we go. We got tools. So let's go ahead and grab that. And that research just finished. We researched item logistics and normal pipes. And we have another research here. It takes 2 iron to research this. So let's pop over. I mean, it's pretty fast whenever you get into the swing of things, and once you like understand the basics, there is a lot to FuturePack, honestly. But it's a bit of fun in its own sort of way, if you like research and stuff. All right, so we researched tools and the scrinch. And if you take a look here, see, we're not quite all the way through the industrial furnace. If you take a look here, we still haven't found that thing. What were we, oh, okay, we were researching under basics. Tools and item logistics. Those 2 came off of the furnace as well. And so does this, too. So let's try, see, there's a lot of stuff that comes off of this. Okay, actually, neon energy. I don't know why it didn't give it to us before. But we have energy generation 1, which takes pistons. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. We need 2 pistons. Let me go ahead and pop over and grab those. And we'll go ahead and drop those into there and let that start researching. And while that's running, technically we can... Oh, wait, that's in here, though. Okay. I want to go ahead and try to get all the research done with this, and then we'll actually start using that, because I have to leave it in there for right now. Okay, we got Energy Generation 1 and the generator. See, we're getting close to having everything that comes off of this. Right over here, we've got everything on this page now. But we still have to get this and that unlocked. I feel like maybe something was clicked in and it was messing stuff up before. Aha! Reduction from chemistry. So let's go ahead and grab that. Drop it into there. What do we need? 4 coal. Okay, well, I've actually got that on me. And we'll go ahead and get that scanned real quick. And we got reduction. Which all of this stuff is going to have tabs that you can read about. Reduction, I discovered that the coal can be used during a smelt cycle to remove oxygen and other pollution from resources. A test using this on sand has produced a brown, shiny, and solid material I named silicon. Maybe I can find a usage for this interesting material later. This works for the local crystals too, so I can now produce ingots of them. So like neon ingots, glowtite ingots, rhodium, all of that stuff. And I'm sure by now you can already tell there is a lot. There is an absolute ton of stuff in FuturePack. Like, for example, if you look up, like, just FuturePack, I mean, look at all this different stuff that's in here. I mean, there's a lot involved with FuturePack. So let's go ahead, and there's still one more thing, that new machine that we're missing. And if you do, like, okay, if I do engineering, you can see it pulls up like a puzzle right here. That means, like, for example, if I don't have anything selected and I try to scan, it shows a puzzle. Basically, that means that I'm missing stuff. So since I did engineering and it showed a puzzle, that means it takes something else. Now, I also know that hydraulics shows a puzzle. So if we do engineering and hydraulics together, we get the block breaker. So let's go ahead and grab that. Drop it into here. And we need 1 hopper. All right. Easy enough. And then we will have everything unlocked. At long last, we'll have everything unlocked that comes from the induction furnace. So let's go ahead and grab a hopper. There we go. And then we can actually make ourselves a metal block at long last. Technically, I could go ahead and make it right now. Or no, I actually have to, well, I have to research composite metal first before I'll be able to make it. And while that's running, I'm going to go ahead and just pull this out because we don't actually need the industrial furnace in there anymore. And we'll just put it down like right there. And you can see it does require lava. There we go. Research block breaker is finished. And so, for example, if I pulled this up real quick and I dropped it into here, you can see that it's all yellow. That's because there's nothing else that I can learn from this industrial furnace. So we'll just put it down right there. Let me go ahead and grab this lava tank. And we're just going to bring this over here and right click, and there we go. It's going to fill this with lava. So this will always have lava for us. I will say all this FuturePack stuff is going to get moved. I'm actually thinking about having this in our AE2 building because it would be kind of fitting for the looks and everything. We're going to get on to building that here soon. I'll probably be working on that this weekend. So, but if we take iron, copper, tin, and we give it just a bit here, you can see it's running right here. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but if I recall correctly, we can get a little bit faster in time. We can make this stuff a little bit quicker. So there is 6 composite metal. And that's the way that that's crafted. Now, if we take this stuff and we drop it into the scanner, and if we scan it, for example, well, actually, it's got engineering and hydraulics selected. I think what we need to make is, let's see, usually you can kind of make sense of it. I'm going to try metallurgy. There we go. Decoration. And it needs composite metal to work. We're going to need 4 pieces of composite metal. So we'll just drop that into there. And we'll give it just a minute. And pow. Decoration, metal block, and airbrush. Awesome. Airbrush is actually really useful. You can see there's still more that can come from composite metal, though. But if we take a look right here, under decoration, using the composite metal, I can assemble building blocks. In detail, I weld some metal plates together to create a solid cube. Furthermore, I can grind the surfaces to make it plain and stable. I should try to find a method for even coloring to improve the appearance of the blocks. New researchables available in space travel and in tools. Okay, so if we take a look at space travel, this is decorative stuff that comes from the space travel stuff. Under tools, there's the airbrush, and there's the scrunch. Okay, so let's go back to production for just a minute. And I guess actually, well, I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and scan this and figure out what else we need. Biology has something from it. Looks like probably like 2 more things can come from composite metal. And I suggest you just like focus, okay, stock breeding and biology both have something. They're still missing something though. But personally, I like to just kind of focus this stuff down and stay with it until you're done with it. Right? Like, just go ahead and get everything you can possibly get from an item. Okay, geology, stock breeding, biology. Let's try that. No, that's not right. Okay, so maybe it's just stock breeding and geology together. Nope. Maybe biology and geology. Nope. Okay, geology goes with something. Okay, it's stock breeding, metallurgy, and biology to make the composite spade. And it takes a golden shovel to research it. 1 golden shovel. Okay, so let me pop over. Let me go make a golden shovel. That one was actually a little bit tricky. It took a little bit of stuff to be able to research that. And I also know that I think it's chemistry. Something goes with that. We'll go ahead and get that researching. And this one takes 1800 ticks, so it's going to take a little bit. But we know that, let's see, geology. Something goes with that. So I've got to figure out what it is that goes with geology. It's possible maybe metallurgy. Yeah, composite pickaxe. There we go. And for this, we need a golden pickaxe. And you can have like multiple researchers if you want. So we could research something while this was running, but usually, I mean, most of the time, well, some of the stuff does end up taking a while, in truth. I know some of the later stuff does. So that might actually not be a bad idea, in truth. We'll see. So I don't think there's going to be anything else that can come from composite metal. I don't think. Now, one thing that we can do is we can take the composite metal and craft it together. Actually, I think it has to be done. Does it have to be done in there, or can we do it? We can do it in the... Has to be a 3x3 crafting grid. But we can get ourselves 4 metal blocks. And we should get a quest complete, I think. Yes. Quest complete, cheaper metal blocks. So there's that. And, oh, your research composite spade has finished. So let's go ahead and drop in this with our pickaxe and get that running. And if we take a look in here, see it's got a little bit more progress in there now. And what's the next quest they want us to do? Neon energy research. I've advanced my research abilities. Now I need energy for researching. Only one of these tasks need to be completed to fulfill this quest. We need a research module on energy, or, okay, any of the research modules on energy. Now these are actually in the dungeons. I remember coming across these in the dungeons. So we may very well do that. I tell you what though, actually. Let's pop over to the storage center. And I remember we got some blueprints from doing that dungeon last episode. We've got a dungeon key 1 and a dungeon key 2 blueprint. And these are keys basically to open up dungeon doors. But we actually probably won't be able to pull these off yet, because we need energy cells, TCT cores, and support chipsets, and then normal batteries and Alon 1 cores for that. Which I don't think we're going to be able to make an Alon 1 core. No, because we need the assembly table. I mean, honestly, the rest of this stuff we could do, but we need the assembly table first, which we can actually work towards that. Okay, your research on composite pickaxe is done, and that means we're done with composite metal now. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this back up. And let's see, there's the block breaker, which I don't really have any interest in right this second. Basically, it's an auto pickaxe, more or less. Let's see, the generator. Okay, tell you what, we need to make the generator under production. which is this right here, just the little Starling Generator. It takes a neon ingot, copper coil, and pistons. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull that up. That's going to be our next step. And we're not going to be able to make the energy upgrades. Like I said, there are some in dungeons. You can get these from dungeons. I'm going to go ahead and make it because we might as well. And there's magnetite, which I actually found that inside of a dungeon. So, but let's see, the generator, we're going to need a little bit of, let's see, piston, furnace, neon ingot, which of course we can make this in the industrial furnace. 2 of those neon crystals and charcoal for that, which we do have neon crystals. Oh, we actually got neon ingots, so never mind. We don't have to make that. And then we're going to need, let's see. I hate the fact you can't craft this stuff in the AE terminal. Drives me insane, actually. Let's get a piston. Let's get furnace. And then let's get ourselves 5 pieces of iron. And I can actually craft this generator no problem at all. So, copper coil, there's that. And then the generator, there's that. Okay. And electricity advancement. Okay, so let's pop over to the turret workshop. And guess what time it is? It's time for some scanning. Let's see, neon energy. Let's try that. No. Power connection. Okay, there is the energy logistics, which will be like our energy pipes. Which we need neon parts for this. 10 neon parts. Okay, which will take those neon ingots. And actually, out of curiosity, because I cannot recall, for the, let's see, the part press to make the neon, okay, it does require neon ingots. And it's 4 per. I need to get some of that neon sand laid out so we can start getting some of these neon crystals. Kind of like how we have the glowtite set up. I just need a little farm like that. Because honestly, it doesn't take very long before you have like more of this than you know what to do with. But let's go. Oh, whoops. Oh yeah. I want it in here actually. And then that. There we go. That's going to start running. And then over here in the part press, we're going to put these in. And our coal and get that running. Oh, there's another neon ingot. Toss that in and pow. There we go. Okay, you could tell that some of this stuff is starting to get a little bit more difficult for some of the research. Well, let's wait for this research to get done. We can get kind of a general idea of what all we need from the generator. Like how much of the yellow bar fills up. And energy logistics, cable, and electricity. So it looks like we've probably got about 2 more things that can come from this. Okay, so right now we have, looks like about 2 more things that can be researched from the generator. But let's say we selected geology and we try to scan this. You'll notice that we get a question mark. I actually had hydraulics on there too, but say we just had geology, we get a question mark. If we went to power connection, we scan that, we get a question mark. What that means is basically there's like 2 more things that we can learn from the generator. However, we can't learn it at the moment. Right now, the generator doesn't actually connect to anything. It will eventually. So basically it means that we need to step away from the generator for a minute, and to continue on, what we'll need to do is we'll need to make ourselves some cables. These right here, I believe it is, that we need to make. Let's check. So under logistics, this cable right here. It takes 2 neon ingots, and neon crystals, and aluminum. Basically is what it takes. You can do aluminum plates, but we're just going to do aluminum ingots for that. Okay, so let's pop over. I'm actually going to grab our neon sand. And we've actually got a couple neon crystals here. And we've got neon crystal blocks, which can be broken down into neon crystals as well. Let's see, let's get a couple pieces of coal as well. And we'll toss that in there and get that running. Okay, so while that's running, let me pop over. I'm going to take this neon sand, and I need to go place this down somewhere so that we can start getting some neon crystals coming in, like passively. It doesn't have to be really a huge field like this is. We can do a smaller field. So we'll go ahead and just place it out here. There we go. See, they're already growing. That's great. Alright, so let's pop back over. And chances are a neon ingot should be done. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a little bit of aluminum. 6 pieces of that. And then over to the turret workshop. Let's see, is this stuff done? It is. That's great. And let's go ahead and get ourselves our cables. And these things, I mean, they craft 16 at a time, so it's pretty good. And it transfers 500 NE per tick, which is basically its energy version. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this into the scanner. And let's scan it with power connection. That sounds good. We'll try that. Okay, it does work with power connection, but it needs something else that goes with it. Neon energy. Let's try these two together. There we go. We got a blueprint for research module energy. That's what we need to craft for the quest. So let's put this into here. And we need 8 cables. So we'll just drop those into there and start scanning it. And I'm pretty sure that there's other stuff that comes from this. So let me scan this a little bit here. Okay, I think it's going to be geology and maybe neon energy. Okay, we just finished research module energy. Let's try that. There we go. Redstone cable. Okay, so let's grab that. Let's drop it into... We need redstone and cables for this. 2 cables and 8 redstone. We'll go ahead and get this knocked out real quick. And we'll go ahead and drop that into there. We only need 8, but we can drop in extra. If we so desire. Okay, and if we take a look here, you can see that cables have unlocked. That's going to be our redstone cable, I think. That's for pipes. If we take a look at basics, research module energy. It seems that the neon energy is the key to many new technologies, so I created a module to improve my researcher. It allows me to do more research using this type of energy. The module must be directly connected to the researcher. All work is done in the researcher as usual. And we can make the research module energy, which takes gold parts, a scrunch, silicon wafers, the colored metal, cables, and neon coils. And you'll notice right here, like this bar is filled up, but it can't use the cables. You'll notice it doesn't have the blue outline. That's because the researcher needs, before we can actually use that, we need to actually get one of those research blocks that we need for the quest. So what we're going to do for that, we could craft it. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's actually probably just a little bit quicker to pop over here and go into the dungeon. So let's do that. Because I know that there's those basic research modules all over inside those dungeons. So we've actually got a dungeon right over there, completed dungeon. Let's head for that real quick. If you've completed a dungeon and pulled the lever, you might as well use that to your advantage. We could actually get all those neon crystal blocks as well if we wanted to. Which actually, yeah. Let's do it. And neon bricks, that's fine. I'm going to leave that there. Which actually, light gray colored metal, we could actually use this. And purple colored metal, okay. It's an easier way than crafting it. Black colored metal all throughout here. The nice thing is, as we complete these dungeons, like I am planning on actually using, especially like the Quantinium, I am planning on using that for our AE building, so all the better. Which I do think the next episode is probably going to be a build video, because I really need to get that building done so we have like a dedicated place to do FuturePack. Oh yeah, there's this Bioterium. Let's go ahead and grab this stuff. And we got the Bioterium Crystal Advancement. No, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so there's 12 Bioterium Sand, which will be useful. But now I'm just looking for... See, there's some industrial furnaces. We could have got those without crafting them. External coolers, we'll get into those a little bit later on. Right here, research modules for energy. They're up inside of these rooms. So, quest complete, neon energy research. Yay! Oh, and we got some neon crystals right here, actually, too. Let me drop this and that into there. Okay, so if we take a look here, that quest is done. And the next one here, magnetite, we need to make magnet ingots. You can get the ore from the Void Ore Miner Tier 3. And then support research, we need a research module for support. Now, I don't know that I've seen those. They might spawn inside of here. I don't think that I've seen them, though. But I want to say that those may not spawn in the dungeon. If I had to guess. I'm going to say no. I don't think I've seen those. The only one I've noticed was the energy ones. So let's pop back over to the turret workshop. I'm going to have to dump out my inventory here in just a second. And let's take our research module for energy. What we're going to do is we're just going to attach this to our researcher. So we'll just put that like right there. And let's go ahead and put a research module in here. Metallurgy, chemistry, and power connection makes the chip assembly. There we go. And actually, we still need to finish this up. Basically, what this is it needs power. What we need to do is we need to set up our generator. We're just going to put this down like right there. And then we can put like coal into this, for example. Right there. And it's going to start cooking. It's going to start producing energy. And so what we need to do is take some cables and just plug these up. Will it not plug up to the front of the researcher? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me move the tech table. I know it's a little bit of a mess. This is going to get sorted soon. whenever we move to the AE system building, we'll get this all sorted out. And we're going to plug it into the research module energy. And you can see that now it's getting energy in here. We are going to need a little bit of energy. Generally, like whenever there's cables or something like that, it means we have to plug in energy and actually start feeding it in through the research module energy. So there we go. Redstone cable finished. Bioterium crystal finished. Awesome. And then let's take the chip assembly. And we need, for this, we need 10 silicon wafers and 8 copper ingots. And this does require energy as well. Anytime this blue is here, it's going to need energy. Okay, so, the silicon that we need to make is, what was it that it took again? Silicon wafers are sand and coal or charcoal for 2. Okay, I need to go ahead and just make up a bunch of these. And all this bioterium, I'm going to drop this stuff off. That. I need to keep that on me. I'm going to drop this stuff off. There we go. Let's get ourselves, like... Oh, we actually got silicon wafers. From the dungeon. I totally forgot we got some of those. And then we'll get 8 copper. And we'll go ahead and get that chip assembly research going. But it's about to get like really hard to do research and progression over here. Because it's getting really crowded over here. So we're going to have to get the AE building up and going. Before we can really expand out a lot. So anyways, there we go. That's running. And let's pop over. I need to go put the rest of the sand down so that we can at least have a place where we can get bioterium and neon crystals. Though honestly, we have those blocks, which, I mean, that's a lot. That's actually a lot of crystals, in truth. Okay, research chip assembly, assembly table, standard core, standard memory, and logic chipset. All that's done. Okay, so our sand is down. We can start passively getting some of those crystals, you know, growing and everything. So the next quest, they want us to get the research module for support. Let's see, I don't remember. I think that's... I don't think that's too far in. We can keep researching the energy module. I think under basics, yeah, there's chip assembly, and see, that leads into some other stuff. This leads into something, but we don't know yet what it is. I think we need this before we can find out what that is. So I think chip assembly would be our next thing. Which for that, we're going to need the assembly table. And out of curiosity, are we getting a question mark on this? No. So there's still something that we can scan. Engineering and logistics? Yes, but I need something else that goes with them. Oh my gosh. Okay, biology and engineering, we can get the oxygen tank. Then logics, engineering, and hydraulics makes the logistics editor. I still need neon energy with chemistry. Biology goes with something. Okay, so let's try these. Oxygen tank, we need iron parts and tanks. Okay. That is not a problem. I've got the iron parts, I just need the tanks. Some of these things get a little bit crazy trying to figure out the stuff that goes into them because it ends up taking, you know, as you can tell, it ends up taking quite a bit of things to pull this stuff off sometimes. So let's get 4 of those. And then the tanks. Okay. And I'll be back here in just a second. I'm going to do a little bit more of this research. Basically involving this. I don't feel like I have to do all of this on camera. Okay, I went ahead and unlocked a few things like some new cables, grenade launcher, and some little things like that. And I've been making up a bunch of neon ingots because we are going to need them. But the next thing I want to do is I want to make the assembly table. So this right here. Go ahead and grab this stuff. That. I'm going to need a crafting table. And I'm going to need some stone slabs. There we go. And we'll go ahead and get our assembly table. There's that. And then what we're going to do, let's pop over. I need to do a little bit of scanning with this because if we take a look here, that the chip assembly bleeds into production 2, production level 2, as well as some of this stuff here, energy 2, and this is basically like the main segment. This is your basics, quote unquote. But yeah, like under, let's see, production, we got the neon engine unlocked. We've also got, which we'll get into all this, oh, maybe not all of this stuff, but we'll get into more of this stuff later on. Neon pipes, the item pusher, redstone pipes, our standard core, standard memory. See, we'll be able to make those keys here soon. And then right up, logistics editor, grenade launcher, grenades, all that stuff, oxygen tanks. Yay. So anyways, we need to scan. By the way, these research module energies have a battery in them. Like if I throw this one down and we take a look, I'll just set it right here, it has a normal battery inside of it. These are basically like your energy storage blocks within the mod. But let's see, in the scanner, let's toss in the assembly table. And looks like we've already got one thing from it. Oh, and by the way, one little symbol that I have not shown you is if you take, let's say, for example, a tank, and you scan this, we should get, yeah, see the red X means nothing comes from that. So there's no use in scanning that. And I was looking, we're actually pretty close, like, I think rocket science and extracting liquids, I believe that's like the symbol for unlocking a new tab, right? I mean, power, a whole new world, bronze, going down, I don't know, maybe not. Because not all of them unlocked a tab, but a lot of them did. Okay, I think we, yeah, your research energy storage is finished. I mean, look at all this research, just research for days. Yeah, see, we still have a bit more to scan here. So, let me get back to scanning. Okay, power connection and chemistry makes main board. We need quartz parts and copper coils for that. So let's go ahead and toss that in there. We need 8 quartz parts. Okay. And I believe that's just nether quartz to make that. Okay, so there's some quartz parts. We'll go ahead and toss these into there and get that running. And what are we going to unlock? Main board and overdrive. Okay. And let's take a look here. Energy storage was right there. And the main board and overdrive is probably from circuits. Yeah, main board overdrive right there. Okay. We'll get into this stuff. Right now we're just doing lots of scanning. Okay, metallurgy and thermodynamics gives us optics, which is a gold ingot and silicon wafer for that. 15 silicon wafers. Wow. And 6 gold ingots. Wonderful. And you know, back whenever I used to play a lot of RTS, this was actually kind of how I did RTS as well. Because I would like research things, and then after I do a lot of research, that's when I'd actually start like really doing stuff. Okay, your research for optics has finished. Okay, and optics ties into space travel. Lacquered glass. We can now make that. Which is just metal and glass together. It's bulletproof glass with colored metal frames. Okay, neon energy engineering and hydraulics gives us production 2. We need a scrunch and composite metal. And then I think chemistry, engineering, and hydraulics. Not quite all of those. No, it's not that. Is it biology then? Okay, it's biology, chemistry, and hydraulics. No. Engineering? Nope. Neon energy, it's one of these. Neon energy. Gives us energy generation too. Okay. So, for that, we're going to need neon crystal and ears. Those strawberries. Let's go for production 2 first. So, we need 10 composite metal and a scrunch. Okay, so there's the composite metal. The scrunch, I actually had to make this. This is basically the wrench. We're going to use this probably in the next episode where we do some FuturePack. Like I said, next episode's probably going to be like building. But then the episode after that, whenever we get... maybe the episode after that, we might get back into an episode of like Astral Sorcery after the building. I don't know for sure, but when we get back into FuturePack, we'll be doing... Because we're kind of just like focusing a lot on research and progression this episode. Basically R&D type stuff. Or the R part of it, and then we'll do the D part of it next time, the development part. Because it's a little bit easier if you just go ahead and like research a bit of this and then start using it. Of course, right now that's the main thing that we can do, you know. We haven't got to the really cool stuff yet. I mean, we've got generators and we've got a lot of research to do. Okay, so production 2 and the OptiBench. If we take a look here at the basics, there we go. We have all of this stuff unlocked or opened up. Okay, so let me toss this into there real quick. We need 32 ears and 32 neon crystals. You know what? I don't have enough of this stuff. So I'm going to have to get more of that before I can get the energy research done. So we'll just hit the X button there and pull that out for just a minute. I'm going to put this away into there for the time being. I don't really have to get the energy right this second, but I will try to get that between episodes. So the OptiBench, right? This right here, we're going to need to make a machine board. Okay, now we need to use our assembly table. And we need to make, basically we're going to be making the OptiBench, which requires a machine board. So let's go ahead and set this thing down like right here. It requires power to run. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take, you can use like all different kinds of circuits to make a machine board. Like this, and this are all variable. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some quartz parts, copper coils, iron parts, neon ingots, neon parts, silicon wafers. Let's see, for the standard core, it's silicon, copper parts, iron. Yeah, like that. And we'll go ahead and pull that out. So we got a standard core. It's a core 2 and max temperature is 175. That's actually randomized whenever we make it. And we'll get more into that later on. Right now I just need them. You know, I'm not too worried about the stats. The standard RAM is silicon, neon, and iron. So we'll go ahead and place that out. There we go. And then the chipset that we want is... Oh, which one is it? Silicon, quartz, and copper. So let's go ahead and lay that out. There we go. And you can see all the stats are random on these. Let's go ahead and get ourselves our machine board. There we go. And then we're going to get our... I'm going to need the metal block, piston, crafting tables, composite metal. There we go, my first computer advancement. Let's get that. I'm going to dump all this stuff back into there. And then we're going to need our piston. There we go. Then we just need the 2 neon ingots. And we should be all set to make our OptiBench. Okay, so there we go. There is the OptiBench. Woo! And what we'll do, we have to scan this, of course, because there is stuff that comes from this. So let's go ahead and get to scanning. And actually, if we take a look here, basics, the OptiBench is right there, and it leads into that, which will be this next step here. It also unlocks these things as well. So there's actually quite a bit that comes from the OptiBench. So you can see hologram tech takes engineering, power connection, neon energy, and morphology. Just to give you an idea, we're starting to get into things that that actually require quite a bit, in fact. Okay, neon energy, engineering, and hydraulics gives us the Super Crusher. We'll go ahead and research that because I've got the stuff. Copper coil and diamond parts. Oh, diamond parts. I need to get. I need to make some diamond parts. It just dawned on me. I'm not using neon parts for that. Let's see. To make a monitor, it's just iron sticks around silicon. But we actually haven't researched monitors yet, so I can't. And here we go. Super Crusher and my first computer. Yeah, see, there's the Super Crusher. It's basically just, it's a crusher. You can actually crush down crystals and not have to use coal to refine it that way as well. We'll get into that whenever we get into the refined storage / FutureTech building. We will get into that. Okay, so I've got to find, where is the my first computer research at? Oh, right here is the monitor. But we're going to have to get lacquered glass first. Okay, so let me pop over. Let me go get... I'm going to have to make lacquered glass and then scan it in order to make the monitor. Okay, so there is light gray colored bulletproof glass. And I think this is what we need to scan. It's just one of these types of glass. So let's drop that into there. Let's see, engineering. You can usually kind of make sense of what you need. Like a monitor would take energy and maybe engineering. That's a neon lamp. What do we need for this? 8 neon ingots and 16 composite metal. Okay, anyways, I'm going to do a bit of scanning and research. Try to get the monitor. And then that way we can get the hologram tech. I want to go ahead and get that knocked out so it'll kind of... I won't be getting... basically, I won't be scanning things with the OptiBench and having to keep that stuff in mind, basically, if that makes sense. Okay, I've just been doing some more research. Logic chipset, I've been working through that. Basically unlocking some of our other chipsets that we can make. And then I also went ahead and unlocked like a lot of the space travel stuff. I've been working through that and just kind of going through the motions of just a lot of just miscellaneous research. And I did get the... Actually, this is magnetism. And I have it right here, but it needs magnetite ore. And so we're going to need to upgrade our void miner before we can get that. But then I also got this. This is the calculation module. We'll get into this next time we get into FutureTech or FuturePack. Which that's actually, in my experience, whenever I had played around with it before, this is when things start getting really interesting with FuturePack. Right now it's just been kind of going through the motions, research, scan, research, and so on. And then just kind of work through progression. But whenever you start getting into the calculation modules and really getting into the circuits and the motherboards, that's when it gets really interesting because it kind of works like, the Ender IO capacitors where you get those ones that are like all different. It's kind of like that, except you create them. And, we saw earlier whenever we made chipsets, we get a random variable on the stats on it, and that's true for most of the stuff that you make in the assembly table here. And so we're going to get into that, and we'll be able to really overclock the speed on our researcher, and we'll be able to start overclocking some of our machines. Some of the stuff we can overclock with overdrives, these right here. But we'll get into that stuff. We'll get into this stuff the next time we get into FuturePack. So, but I will say it's probably going to be a couple episodes before we get back into FuturePack because my current plan is the next episode I'm hoping is going to be a build video. It might be, depending on, well, I'm going to work on it this weekend and I'm pretty well freed up for working on that. So hopefully the next episode is going to be a build video. And we'll be working on the, I know earlier I said 82 building. I get all my packs mixed up. Refined storage / FuturePack building. And we'll start getting into that. We also might get into the airbrush a little bit, because we are going to use a bit of the FuturePack stuff for the build. And so we may get into the airbrush a little bit. It just depends. We'll see. The airbrush is a lot of fun because you can paint all your blocks, because like all your, you know, you've got the, like you have all these FuturePack metal blocks, and then you've got all like the grid blocks, and all of these can be painted. And so we'll probably get into the airbrush a little bit for that. So next episode will probably be a build video. The episode after that's probably going to be a refined storage episode. We're probably going to start moving into a bit of automation, which is going to be great. It's going to be very, very good. And it'll also probably be a little bit of cleanup, because I know like this quest right here, we'll be doing this when we do the cleanup, or whenever we do the automation. And then maybe some of this stuff, I don't know. We still need to do the enchanting table to finish out Magical Life. But we'll see. We'll be doing a bit of automation, so that's probably going to be one, maybe possibly even 2 episodes of refined storage there. Actually, this quest we can knock out. We can't get magnetite ore just yet, but we can. We do have the magnet right here, the magnet ingots. So that quest is done. Easy peasy. Which I think we need that for the tier 4 miner. Is that what we need it for? Yeah, magnetite blocks and then resonating gems for that. And then also celestial crystals and stuff to upgrade into the tier 4. So, but then after we do the refined storage automation type stuff, we're probably going to take an episode in Astral Sorcery. Because we did actually get quite a bit of this stuff knocked out. And so I'd like to get the resonating gems, and then we could do the tier 4 miner. And maybe just go tier 3, tier 4 pretty quick. And then after we do it Astral Sorcery, then we'll get into some more FuturePack, I mean. And probably a cleanup episode somewhere in there. Just purely cleanup type episode. But I will say, once we get into the automation stuff from refined storage, it's going to help a ton. It really, really is. So, anyways, I am going to end out this episode here. I feel like we got quite a bit of FuturePack done, and the really exciting stuff is coming up. So, I promise it gets really, really interesting. And there's actually still a lot of FuturePack to go. Like a whole lot. But we'll be getting into that stuff here soon. I mean, we just haven't even touched on space, and really, there's a whole lot we haven't touched on. So, and the whole like item transfer, energy transfer systems, and all that. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.